three that I've noticed.
We're officially recording.
Okay. Good. So the three that I wanted to show you were my biggest favorites, or my biggest, I guess, rare ones. That one I assume is rare because it has a number on it.
Sammy Guevara. Yeah, so the numbers on the side are which number of which number it is. So this Sammy Guevara would be a green holographic, and it is numbered. So there were only 399 of them. This is 41.
Did you get any? Because I don't know.
I didn't get any autographs, unfortunately.
No, I was gonna say, memorabilia ones.
Yeah, I got a pack memorabilia one.
Okay, so
Let me grab mine.
I got two. I got this one I thought was really cool. Speaking of pack.
Oh shit, you got the Lucha Bros?
Yeah, and it's got like the little thing on it.
Fuck, man. You
So
see
this
the
is
trading card memorabilia that has been certified as having been worn by the feature wrestlers. Nice.
I'm going to show you this.
I'm jealous.
And I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
I'm going to hand Kibbles my other memorabilia card, which is Kai Conti. I don't know if the video is going to be up yet, but design-wise, do you think they did a good job?
You talk about the card itself?
I'm saying the design of them putting the memorabilia in a placement where you have to rub.
Oh, if you want to rub it, you have to rub the her
right by her
area.
crotch.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of room by her head. Don't know why they did that.
Yeah, they even could have just moved her body back some. Yeah, this isn't great placement.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast all about wrestling. In this corner, an author and a black belt, Kibbles.
Kibbles? What kind of name is that?
Pookie the Wolf is the best.
I forgot my cockies. And in this corner, Pookie the Wolf.
Pookie the Wolf is one of the best.
Welcome to the Kibbles and Pookies Squared Circle.
I love how you're like, oh no, yeah, this is not good.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at a card and been like, why'd they choose this picture? Like, this is a really bad picture.
Yeah.
There were a couple cards. I mean, not a lot of them, but there were a couple cards where I was like, "This is bad. Like, why did you decide this was going to go on a card?"
I'm new to this, so like I don't really know. So like these two, I was like, these are super thick, and I'm like, oh, it's because it's a big deal, and I'm like, that's cool.
No, the Ty Conti one's really cool. The Lucha Bros one is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and the Ty Conti one is less in just because I'm like sitting there rubbing and going, well, this just looks weird.
Yeah,
because it's right on her crotch.
I would either frame those, or I would at least get a hard stack case for at least the Lucha Brothers one, if not both of them.
I like them though; they're fun.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun to open them up.
I got a numbered Keith Lee.
That's fucking awesome.
Although, so I went on eBay because I was like, let me look at like let me look at the numbers or whatever, and it was
that was definitely on the mic.
And so there's other Keith Lee ones that are only numbered like 50, and so they're like way more rare. I was like, God damn it!
What color are they?
I think they're red.
Ooh, that's fancy.
I was like, fuck. I didn't really end up with anything great though, to be honest. I mean, the Keith Lee is cool. I'm gonna definitely put that in a stack.
Yeah, I'm actually jealous of that one because that's one I'd be like, oh, that's even better because it's someone that I like.
I got a Ruby Soho numbered.
You know, that was the weirdest part. At the end, my last pack was like all these people I liked. I got an Ethan Page, I got a Ruby, and I got a CM Punk, and I'm like, how am I just getting a CM Punk now?
Yeah, this was my.
Oh yeah. Oh, I want to touch that.
The canvas. I only got one canvas. Or canvas. Only got one memorabilia card.
I got that one. I think I got the same one. Or no, it's not the same one, but it's
a different picture. Yeah.
I got a holographic Abaddon. And
nice.
One of these. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they have in the first set they had like almost like a magazine cover type thing, just as a different style of card. They had it in the second set too. Can't remember what they looked like though.
I have a shitload here. I'll just give you the whole stack.
Oh, okay. But this is the I don't know if you got this one, but this is the one that I think I'm gonna have the Acclaim sign.
Oh yeah.
It's just a regular card, but it's the tag teams. Because we get two autographs for our VIP, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll have them sign this card and then have them sign the micro brawler figures.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna do the micro ballers and the that artwork that I got from the
Oh,
Ohio.
that's good.
It's really
yeah.
nice. No, like I was kind of disappointed because towards the end I was doing, and like again I was like that. Like Ricky Starks didn't show up till like the end. I'm like, what? Why am I
Yeah.
getting these guys
Well,
now?
it all depends.
And
Oh,
then
nice, CM Punk.
Yeah, that was on the last pack too. And I'm like,
I don't think I got a CM Punk, to be honest.
the whole time I was like, where's CM Punk at? And
the
then
main.
I was like,
Let me grab, because I bought a pack of the. Well, no, you got a pack of the original set too, didn't you?
I got original, and I got the 2011,
Okay.
2021, 2022.
Yeah, because the main features is different in the 2011 or in the 2021. set.
Yeah, those are all the 21 and 22s together. So
Okay. I thought
that's why
about
that stack is so fucking huge.
so the set is the set off the thing is a booster box.
Yeah.
If you go on eBay, because only like official like card trader things or whatever can get the hobby box, and they have some unopened hobby boxes on eBay. I was thinking about maybe buying a hobby box and just seeing if I get anything.
How many is a hobby box?
I think it's like 10 packs.
God damn. But they're really cool though. Like I really like them. It was
Yeah.
weird though. Like the last pack I had was like no one I've had before.
Oh, this is a cool.
The canvas ones?
Luchasaurus, yeah. I like the canvas ones. They're cool.
Yeah, I got a lot
Cool
of cool
stick.
canvas ones. I think I got like 4.
Yeah, this is how the
4 or
main
5 of them.
features were.
Yeah.
and, I actually have a bunch of the main features. I have almost every main feature from the original set, and so I was going to take the ones that I like, and I was thinking about framing them.
Yeah, I was just thinking like I don't know.
What else to do with these?
Yeah, I like the like content wise, it's really fun to open them in a video, but like as far as afterwards, I'm like where do I put these? Like I don't know.
Yeah, they're
I don't
kind
know what
of
to do with them. But it is a
Yeah.
lot of fun to just open them up and see what you get, because it's like it's a 95% chance that I would be disappointed in anything, because a lot of the people I like a lot of the ones I'm like, oh yeah, I like this guy, I like this guy, I like this guy, and oh, it's a holographic. I think I also got a holographic Frankie Kazarian in there somewhere, but I don't know where it went.
Yeah, it kind of yeah, the cards are really like if you're gonna like collect and have all of
Yeah, I
them,
know.
in like a little like in a card book.
Mhm.
Or you're gonna frame them. If you're not gonna frame them, then like you're really just opening them to open them, like for the thrill of the open. you
Yeah,
know?
and
Which
that
I
was
think
the
is a
thing,
lot
too.
of it.
Because I was having fun just opening them up and seeing what I got. And
Yeah,
just
I think that's a
showing it.
big. I think that's a big proponent of it.
But yeah, there's a
Yeah, because I have the main features. I picked out. There's like 40 of them, so I picked out the 21 of the wrestlers that I like.
and you put them all in a stack thing.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna do is take them to go get framed, and then I was gonna put them up there
Ooh, that's fancy.
because I was measuring, and I could do like, I could do 3 rows of 7 across, so then it's not like super
Yeah.
big.
That's
yeah.
like I was thinking about doing to redo my back wall of pops. But I have to like buy the things
Like
for it.
this, like a hard stack case.
Oh, and that's the red ones. Okay.
Yeah. So this is from the first set, which I bought like last year when the first set came out.
Yeah.
I got a numbered 16 out of 100 Darby Allin.
And that was the thing too. The reason I bought the 2011 one is because I found one for really cheap, and I'm like, oh well, I'll just do this. And then as
Yeah,
soon as
might
I
as well.
bought it, they're like, oh, we're gonna hike up the price again. And I'm like, oh, it's probably just a different seller.
Yeah, it's all supply and demand.
Sons of bitches.
It's all supply and demand. If something is selling, then the price can go up.
So on a negative note, I also
Yeah.
opened up a WWE one, and
Didn't get anything you liked?
the only thing I got was I got 2 special Rhea Ripleys,
Ooh.
and I might have freaked out and yelled, "I got Mama Ripley," but that's on the video, and I guess I'll edit it out later.
Ooh. Well,
Here.
you got to keep that in for the fans.
Those are
These are the WWE cards.
those are by Panini, and the problem was is that when I opened those up, I'm like, I only get it's like 4 cards in 6 packs, and I'm like, and it was cheaper, but I'm like, this seems kind of stupid.
Yo, these Rhea Ripley's are fucking awesome.
Not only that, but the fact that they were like debut cards, and I'm like, so is this like all like it's all NXT? Like most of the majority of the packs are NXT guys. I'm like, I don't know half of these people. Like some I know like by name.
It might have been a specific NXT.
No, it wasn't NXT. Like so, like Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch were on the covers.
Okay.
But it said debut edition, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
If it's a debut, I'm not 100% sure on the debut edition. So on these, they do have like the little single symbol for rookie card. So that would mean that it's their first card from WWE or from Panini and WWE both.
Panini.
Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know.
I think so, but it's still funny because it's a sandwich.
Yeah. So if you have a rookie card, I would put that in a case and hold on to it.
I like the fact that I got Solo too.
Because if Solo becomes like a big thing, like this card
Which he
becomes
is
worth a lot of
becoming.
money.
At least.
I really like that Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I got 2 Rey Mysterios. But like I opened up the first pack, and I think the first pack's at the end. And as I was opening up, I was like, the one out of the 4 I had was Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm like, I know one of these people. The rest were people I've never heard of. Like there were some people in there that I've never watched, but I know of. Like I got Nash Carter in there somewhere, and I was
Yeah.
like, I know that person. I was like, but I've never really seen them wrestle.
Yeah, I opened up a.
I've heard of them.
My dad got a couple boxes of NXT specific cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I opened it up, and it was like they were all like photos and stuff from NXT, and there was like a mix of new NXT people and old NXT people.
Now it just doesn't matter. They're all merged together.
They're all merged together. But yeah, I mean, you have a Solo Sikoa rookie card. You could look to sell it now if you wanted to, or if not, I would say hard back it, keep hold of it, and if he ever gets like a really big run or something, it'll be worth a decent amount of money.
I mean, I think he's kind of a big deal right now, and I think I don't think unless something like comes out where he's like killing people or murdering someone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, the card will be a big deal and worth a lot of money if he gets a lot of, momentum or something. Like here, my opinion would be the second he wins the world championship, if he ever wins the world championship, the second he wins it, I'm putting that on eBay.
Yeah.
And you're probably making $100 or more.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good one. But it was I felt like that one was weird because there was a lot of like NXT people. I'm like, I don't know this person. I don't know this
maybe they were
person.
just trying to get rid of a bunch of NXT cards.
I mean, there was a whole stack of stuff in there, so anywho. So we it's been a while.
We took a break.
I
The
don't know.
holidays.
Yeah. Is it a break more of just I guess holiday break? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, break. You were about to say break.
Yeah.
Break me off a piece of that.
Time off. from
Fancy
doing-
feast.
What?
You ever see The Office?
No.
There's an episode where Andy can't remember what the last thing is. So it's like, break me off a piece of that. And it's supposed to be Kit Kat bar.
Yeah.
But he can't remember if that's what it is. So he spends like, I can't remember if it's the whole episode or like the first half of the episode trying to remember what it is. And so he keeps trying things out. And he'll be like, break me off a piece of that. Fancy feast. And he'll be like, no, that's not right. And he just like comes up with these ridiculous
That's
like
such a weird
little
storyline.
rhymes.
The
Andy is the guy from
Hangover, right?
Hangover, yeah.
Yeah.
Ed,
The Nard
something
Dog?
The Nard Dog.
See, there's a joke.
Sorry, I totally.
No. You reminded me of a joke
I
from
totally
American
sidewinded
Dad
us.
where there's a American Dad joke where it's in like the dystopian future and Francine has to pick from staying in love with Stan or being in love with Jesus because Jesus comes back and the
I
whole
do remember
apocalypse.
that one.
So there's a scene where Stan sacrifices himself for Francine, and as he's dying and bleeding out, he goes, "You deserve better. You deserve fancy feast. And she goes, what? He goes, oh, sorry, I'm bleeding out. He's like, I'm kind of hallucinating. Sorry. He's like, I'm bleeding out here.
I do remember that episode now that you mention it.
Yeah, Andy
When you were first describing it, I wasn't, and
Yeah.
then you were like with Jesus, and I was like, oh shit, he's right, yeah.
Andy Samberg plays the Antichrist in just really obnoxious, loud voice.
Mhm.
We're just screeching most of the time. But like they literally have the Antichrist as the opposite of Jesus, so everything Christ does, he does the opposite of. So he's like a horrible carpenter, and he's like, every like the
Is he not a superstar?
like well like when he when he says forgive me Father for I have sinned, he like does the complete opposites of that sentence. So he's just like something mother, for they do know, like it's like he's trying to be like completely opposite of what
Yeah.
they say. So
Did you get my superstar joke?
I get it.
Okay. I'll just make sure you got it. And you
I
weren't glancing over it because you
understood.
didn't get it.
I understood it. Didn't ask me if I liked it.
Oh, did you like it?
No.
Okay.
So
A bunch of shit has happened.
yeah.
A lot of shit.
Side note, because I see it up there. Have you finished watching the Soraya one?
No, I haven't even started.
It's great.
All right.
It's great.
The only thing I've seen of it was I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw how it auto plays videos,
Mhm.
and he says about oh, it's not Florence Pugh, but
Yeah. And
and
she's
I was like, this
she's
is
like-
good.
She's like, who are you? There's no one over there. She's like, what? There's a part where she's
I was like, add to watch later. Thank you.
yeah. There's a part where she goes, she's like, she like looks at the camera or looks at the guys off screen and she goes, I don't know if you guys know this, but Renee would be great at this if you guys just replaced him. And he's just like, okay, all right. Like, there's so many good parts in that one.
That's funny.
She does a really good job in that one. And then there was I'll let you watch it. But anyway, there's been a lot that's happened.
A lot has happened.
The Acclaimed have won the tag team titles.
They're still tag team champions.
Oh, I thought I'm going way too far back.
No, because it was restarted. They never lost the tag titles.
Oh, right, with the Jeff. Okay, no, I get what you're doing now. I was pretending that I went too far back in
Oh.
because I don't remember the last time we were here or where we were at. What was going on when we came back. I think, have we talked about the 7 series?
Yes.
Yeah, I think briefly, right?
It
In,
would
like,
have been
beginning.
the second or third match would have been when we last recorded.
Yeah. So that happened.
So they're having the last match. It's going to be, what the fuck do they call it? Masca della Muerte or something?
Yeah, just say it's a ladder
One of
match.
those ladder match. I like that they put little cool.
As a matter of fact,
titles on
someone
shit.
should go back and watch or listen to, probably me, and listen to see what Kibble said about what they were going to do with the 7 series, because I'm pretty sure you're spot on with
I
how
did
they did
say,
the
yeah.
series.
I do remember saying, I could see, if they go the full 7, I could see the last one being like a ladder match or a TLC match or something fucking like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, did I talk about did I do
I
into
feel
the
like
no
you said
disqualification and all that shit
exactly-
too?
I feel like you did, at least the first one you did,
I remember
like the first no rules one, and then you said something about a ladder match at the end. I don't know if you had that one in the middle with false count anywhere.
Yeah, I distinctly remember saying that the last match was going to be like a ladder match or something.
Yeah.
And I do distinctly remember saying that the hammer would be like a storyline that goes throughout the entire match.
Yep.
Which I think they've done a really good job with, by the way. Having like the hammer and all those different things like kind of tell a story throughout the 7 matches. Yeah. I think the ladder match is going to be fucking balls to the wall crazy. Because these guys are fucking balls to the wall crazy.
Yeah.
I have no idea who's going to win. It could go either way.
Well, I feel like the elite is winning.
Yeah. So I read a rumor that it sounds like people inside AEW are still like discussing and arguing over who's going to win.
Oh, like they don't know yet?
That's the rumor. Maybe Tony Khan knows who he wants to win, but I know that other people are throwing their opinions in, and it seems like kind of a deadlock. There's part of me there is part of me that's like, if they don't win, is it because they're going to do more stuff with New Japan? Because, like, Kenny won the title.
Yeah. Kenny won the IGP USA title or something.
Yeah. Which I also have no doubt that they are absolutely having a rematch at some point this year.
You mean Osprey and
Osprey and
Omega.
Omega. Maybe
Okay.
Forbidden Door. Kind of would make sense.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fucking awesome match, and it definitely left the door open for more stuff. Like it was an awesome match, but they also did not, they didn't pull out all the stops. So I'm
Mhm.
like, they're saving some shit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I did not watch Wrestle Kingdom. I know you did.
I've only seen, so I saw the Kenny Osprey match, and I watched Sasha, or was she Mercedes Monet,
Yeah.
her debut, and then I watched the FTR match.
So
I haven't seen everything yet.
do they do like a daily show, or is it just like UFC where like they just do a match every other couple of months?
I have to see. I think they do. I don't know if they do a weekly show. I know that they do a bunch of like pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know there's like the Sasha match is going to be in February. But they also have, so they did Wrestle Kingdom, and then there was also like a show the next day.
Okay.
Called like New Year's Bash or Dash or something. And then I think they have a different show at the end of January. So it might be kind of like a kind of an interspersed bi-weekly type thing.
Okay.
I have to look. But I also know there's like, they have to have a weekly show, because I think there's a weekly show called New Japan Strong that runs weekly on Access. Or maybe it was on Anthem. It was on the same thing as TNA was.
Oh,
Or is. So I think they do have some type of weekly thing.
But we don't have to wait anymore for the whole Sasha Banks thing.
Yeah, she showed up. It was cool. She went after Kairi Sane. She
Yep.
wants the
I don't know if I like her hair.
women's championship.
It's
Her
very
hair was
weird.
very interesting.
Yeah, it was almost like Predator vision, like heat imaging.
I'll say I don't know if I love it, but it is a really cool design that I legitimately am like, I don't know how you got that into hair.
The question is it money?
Is it Monet?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No.
Are you gonna do an accent now?
That's how it's pronounced.
But is it money?
Sure.
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what you're doing.
Is she
No, Ishii wasn't in the match.
No, okay, sorry.
That was good.
Is she a is she related? Is she like got like a thing about money? Is that like her bit? I don't understand.
I mean, she was Sasha Banks. And she
Oh
kind
my
of
god,
always...
I just got that. I'm stupid. I legitimately just got that. Sasha Banks. I thought her name was just Sasha Banks. I didn't think it was like a money thing.
Oh. No,
Oh.
Sasha Banks is her...
Sasha Banks. Sounds
Her
like a
real
cool
name is Mercedes something. I don't know what her last name is.
Monet. Now.
Monet.
So-
So I think it's a little bit of a play on that, but she has kind of always had that like bling kind of thing
Yeah.
to her entrance.
Yeah. She's fancy. So what do you think on the whole tag team match this coming up this week? Because people are like, oh, it was going to be Sasha Banks, but she picked Toni Storm.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking it was like a swerve, like she's picking.
No, Swerve isn't in that.
Swerve isn't in that.
Swerve is he's doing something else.
He's doing something else.
He's got the was it Mogul or whatever the hell.
Yeah, Mogul, Tony Mogul.
I'm gonna end up breaking this thing. I'm not gonna mess with it. But anyway, go ahead.
Turn the handle. The
This?
big, yeah, that piece.
The burger handle. But yeah, go ahead. I'll mess around with this. You go ahead and
Yep, there you go. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Mm.
So yeah, so a lot of people think her picking Toni Storm is like a
A fuck you to Hikaru Shida.
yeah. Well, no, I think a lot of people think it's like them trying to be like, oh, nope, see, it's Tony Storm. And then, like, if something happens and they debut somebody, it'll be like a bigger deal. I don't feel like that makes sense. I think it's just going to be Tony Storm.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is a Sheeta heel turn.
Well, at least a reason for Sheeta to.
I mean, because she was
fight
like,
Soraya,
yeah, because she was like, what the fuck?
because that's something I want to see.
Yeah, she clearly was upset that she was not chosen, and the reaction was so big on her part. Like
Yeah.
it was so obvious that I was like, okay, clearly something's going to happen because
Yeah.
like it was like too obvious to be like this isn't going to be a thing.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because like even with the Mercedes thing, I was like forgetting that like, oh, just because she's on New Japan right now does not mean she couldn't show up on AEW. Because
Yeah.
like, my brain is so set for like the WWE stuff where it's just like, there's no forbidden doors, there's no, and I forgot completely. I was
even-
like, oh, that's possible.
Well, even WWE broke open a forbidden door a little bit
When?
last weekend
All right, with
Shinsuke Nakamura.
and didn't what's his face also wrestle? Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he had a match as well, and supposedly I keep getting the articles.
Well, so Shinsuke was for Pro Wrestling Noah, not for
Oh,
New
okay.
Japan. But it is interesting that you bring that up because this past Wrestle Kingdom, we had wrestlers that wrestle for New Japan, we had wrestlers that are contracted to AEW, and we had a wrestler who's currently contracted to WWE, all in the same show,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of crazy to think about.
Shinsuke fought who? Great Muta.
Yes.
Okay, I
Um,
do know what I'm talking about.
his entrance was cool.
Yeah, I saw that. They were I think I saw it on either Instagram or it might have been something that was sent in the group.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think there's definitely a possibility that you maybe see more with. I mean, maybe now that a certain somebody's back, maybe you don't anymore. But
well, we'll get to that at the end. We'll do the bad news later.
yeah, but I could see a potential of maybe WWE working with like Pro Wrestling Noah more. That would be very interesting if like Pro Wrestling Noah ended up working with WWE and then New Japan is working with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
The
The
so maybe.
the good stuff. I do like. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I do like. I'm sorry. I do like the Acclaimed and Lethal and Jared feud right now. It's nice. It's fun. Whether
Yeah.
or not the words hurt Jeff Jarrett doesn't fucking matter. Like, did you see? So like, I don't know
Apparently,
if you
there's
saw-
been shit popping off on the Twitters about it.
There's a couple of things going that's almost like trying to parody stuff. For example, I was watching the tag team match. He puts him in an ankle lock,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, that's supposed to be like so." Like Jeff Jarrett has to be cool with it.
Oh, in the match on Wednesday, like Max Caster did like the little hop thing that Kurt Angle does,
Yeah.
and at one point he tried to do the angle slam. I think right at the beginning of the match.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean they're playing into it.
and then like what was the other match that I saw that I didn't realize because I didn't watch it fully. I just saw the highlights of the. So there is, and I don't know if you listened to or watched Promo Joe, but they did a side by side of the scene from Scary Movie 3. I'll have to send you the clip. Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
They literally parody the part where she comes out of the TV and fights. I forget what the woman's name is.
Okay, the grunge woman comes out of the TV and fights.
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you watch that match side by side, they're doing the exact same thing. There's a part
Interesting.
where Bianca knocks over Alexa and then pretends to pull out her ear. I can send you it right now. Hold on. I have a little short of it. So
Okay.
go for it. Go for it. but like you have to cut to the match though, because there's a lot of shit in between.
Oh,
There is it's in that first one.
Then Now Forever?
Yeah, just mute it and then see where you can find the part. It's literally done exactly the whole fight scene, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even realize this. There you go, right
There
there.
it is.
So like they do this whole part right there, and then like Bianca's like, come on, get up, and she does the head thing, and I'm like, they really did this during the match, and then she gets back up, and like acts like she's almost like supernatural. Does the whole fight, like she does the kick, misses the kick, back drop kicks her into the, and it's just like
That's
it's
weird.
exactly the same thing, and I'm like, what the hell? It's really weird because I was like, I didn't even know they did this. Why?
That's too exact to be a
Exactly. And I'm
to be a
like,
coincidence.
but it's not another match, because if it was another match like thing, you'd be like, oh, they did the exact same thing in the match of like this match. You wouldn't go, oh, they did the exact same scene from Scary Movie 3. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
It's so weird. And like they're playing it straight too. Like they're very like serious. Like Bianca's like serious about it. She's like, but like the whole scene is funny. So it's just like that's why you like don't understand the correlation between the two.
Yeah.
But it was exactly the same thing.
Well, Chris Jericho always says the best way to create comedy is you need to play it straight.
Hell yeah. Also, there's no such thing as a botch.
No such thing as a botch.
You don't botch stuff.
You
How
don't
about
botch.
Action Andretti? What do you think?
It's weird. I don't understand what's happening with that.
What
Like
do you mean?
he beat Jericho, and I was like, okay.
Wait, can you say that again?
I was like, okay.
It was weird. You just grabbed your nuts when you said,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I did my Michael Jackson impression.
Okay.
Oh, you want Mickey Mouse?
That's fine. Either way.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna like play into Jericho's character, which like it is. And then he came out to help Ricky Starks, and I was just very, I don't know, confused by it all. Like, are they trying to like push this Andretti guy? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's weird. They kind of, and then they kind of like, I mean, I guess they didn't sideline him, but Ricky Starks, I feel like was just on a roll. He's very like, he was white hot, I think. In my personal opinion, I think he was white hot, and then they were like, he's going to lose to MJF. I would have not had him fight MJF at all, because then you kind of run the risk of just losing that momentum.
I mean, there's also the possibility that like people got really behind him at that time, and they had, were already like had the match, like planned and set up and whatnot, and like then people just got behind him, and they were
Yeah.
like, shit, like almost like Daniel Bryan, like it was like they weren't supposed to get that much behind him,
Yeah.
but then they did, and so now they're just kind of like going to try to ride the wave. I think him fighting Jericho and feuding with Jericho is a good like next step
works.
for him.
Yeah, it works. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, if you lose to MJF, you just go off to play. You go off to fight Chris Jericho.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, if you say so, and if it means that we don't have to do BCC against the Appreciation Society anymore, then good,
More power to it.
because I am done with that feud.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
I figured you were.
It was a
figured
great
you
feud.
were.
It was great for a while, but I am done with it. Wild Thing.
I'm messing this up.
You make my heart sing.
I messed something up.
Yeah, you probably have to bring that thing down so that way you can.
I got it.
You make everything
Groovy.
wild thing. Bun, dun, 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 dun. Now you have to spin the bass or spin the thing.
Yeah, but that's weird. That's the weird part. I didn't spin the bass to begin with.
Oh,
Was that? Did I hear that?
you did hear that because we're plugged into that. Should
That
probably
was
log out of
fucking
the thing.
weird.
Anyway,
Go on.
what was next up on our list?
So this is the new thing for now. Just gonna hold it like
you're
this.
just gonna hold it like that.
I'll
You-
fix it
you
later.
want me to fix it?
No, I'll fix it later. This
Okay.
is fine. It's actually easier. I know how to fix it. I just don't want to do it right now and ruin everything.
Okay.
So yeah, this is working. It's like a little look like a Wolverine, just a little claw
Wow
thing.
How about Swerve and AR Fox on the Dynamite?
I love him. I love AR Fox.
Okay, I was gonna ask which one.
No, I love AR Fox and whatever. Wish Brock Lesnar and whatever Lizard Man person he's got with him. Cool. Keep him. I like Swerve in general. I don't know what he's doing with the
I was dying
Walmart
laughing.
version.
I was dying laughing as they were like, as like because they don't know. They apparently don't know the name. We don't know the name of the
Other guy? The lizard person?
Yeah, and so they were like, Taz was like, yeah, Parker, whatever the other guy's last name is, and he's like, yeah, and then tattooed scary hitman or something like that. He named him,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh, it's kind of a mouthful, isn't it? And they're all like talking about it.
He looks like a carny.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy who would chew down on cinder blocks.
So my biggest thing was that when they attacked Keith Lee, I was kind of like, hey, this would be cool if it looked legit, but like I felt like I was watching two guys who aren't pro wrestlers pretend to be pro wrestlers. Those two guys. Like I legitimately was like, are these guys like MMA guys that they're trying to like bring in to like as like a publicity thing? Because like I legitimately was like, these guys look like they're pretending to be or trying to be pro wrestlers.
Which is funny too, because
like they don't know. It looked like they don't know what they're doing.
Parker has had matches.
Yeah. Well, he was in NXT.
Yeah.
Him not quite as much as the other guy. But like I don't know, maybe it was just me being like nitpicky, but I legit was like, these guys look like they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Straight out of the box.
Straight out of the box.
Straight out of the box.
Straight out of Compton.
Okay. The concept, I don't know, I mean, like, eventually they're gonna do that, right? To the point where, like, to be like, for example, I opened up the cards yesterday and got a Christian Cage. I'm like, oh right, he works for the company still.
He's injured.
But like
I think Luchasaurus is hurt too, which is why we don't see them.
Well,
I think if I recall correctly, I was reading that like Luchasaurus has been hurt and he was like toughing it out so they could get the cage match with Jungle Boy, and then he could kind of go off into Sunset. Go and get healed up.
Are dinosaurs like horses? Do you just put them down after?
Maybe, I don't know.
A broken leg?
It's a good question.
Can their leg heal?
Don't know much about dinosaurs. Maybe it depends on how it breaks.
I have to rewatch Jurassic Park just to get kind of like a baseline.
Yeah.
So
yeah. My guess is that Christian Cage isn't anywhere near ready to be back, and that's why they just moved on.
Absolutely.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I like what do they call it? Jungle Hook or something.
Oh, I didn't know that they
did a thing to it, and it's
Hook
just like
Boy?
I don't think it was Hook Boy. I think it was Jungle Hook, Jungle or Jungle Hook, something like that.
Jungle Hook.
Jungle Hook sounds right.
Yeah.
Jangle Hook.
Jangle Hook is better.
Would be better. But I think that was more of a thing with Danhausen because Hausen's added to everything, so that's why Hookhausen was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they're just adding it to be like, oh, this is what we do with Hook now.
Yeah, I actually really like the idea of Hook being involved with the firm. It's just giving him something like another step up on something to do.
Yeah, he was also one of those people that was just like all of a sudden, oh right, I forgot he was there.
Yeah,
like when he showed up, I was like, oh right, yeah, Hook. We have Hook still.
Yeah, and I really like and he's somewhat, I don't know, they need to like continue to like slowly build him and capitalize on his like popularity. He did when he was in the ring and he was standing there with Big Bill.
Yeah.
I was like fuck, this place, the whatever arena they do it in, when he fucking suplexes him is gonna fucking flip their shit. Because he's gonna fucking suplex him.
Yeah.
And he gets attacked, and then Jungle Boy came out, and I was like, oh no. For like a brief moment, I was like, oh no, they're gonna do it right now. They're gonna fucking just blow the bubble right now, and then it doesn't matter in the match. And then thankfully he like got out of the ring or whatever, and I was like, okay, good. Like I was like, you got the pop, You got the pop of them standing next to each other, and don't don't pardon
Don't
the
blow it.
expression, but don't blow your load all in
Yeah.
one shot. Like you
I wanna
got the
use the same expression.
you got the shot, you got the pop of them standing next to each other.
Just tease it.
Save the pop of him fucking suplexing him for another
Just tease it.
week,
Just tease that.
which
bad
is
boy.
awesome. I was like, good, fucking even I'm gonna fucking like pop when he fucking suplexes him. I'm gonna be like, yes,
Yeah, I kind of had that in my head too, where I was like, wait a minute, don't do that now.
yeah,
Don't do that.
yeah.
Wait.
No, you gotta wait. You gotta let it simmer. Don't wait too long.
Just tease it. Just tease it.
Don't wait too long.
The more and more that happens, and I'm sorry to pivot to something else, but Dex Harwood, he's talking a lot of stuff of like, like he's the one person who's like, yeah, we're not dropping the CM Punk thing yet, like constantly bringing him up, and
Well, I mean, I don't know. He did a podcast where the whole first episode, well, not the whole first episode, but like the main part was about CM Punk, and like
I think it's the biggest for me, being such a fan of CM Punk. I think it's the biggest fuck you to half the fans who shitted on him is come back and go, yeah, I'm not going, and I'm glad I can see how you guys really feel about me. Because it's like, who's gonna who in the crowd? Like you either have to stick with that, or they have to fucking be fake as shit. Where you go, oh, great, CM Punk's back. You're like, but you were saying that you didn't give a shit when he was gone.
yeah,
And it's just like, if they're still gonna boo him, then make him a heel. If he, like I said, if he comes back. But if he comes back, it's a big like, oh shit, we did say that. We did say fuck you, Punk, and we did do all this shit. Like, if it is true, and if it does happen, it's such a big fuck you to the fans who right away wrote him off because they'd rather see Omega and just taking a side is what I'm saying.
yeah, and ultimately, I think no matter if he does come back, no matter where that's decided, he will. You could unplug the mic and then screw it in, and then plug it back in. No matter where he comes back, I think there'll be like a big pop because he's a name. Now, whether that pop stays like sustained and they don't eventually go to boo him, is still a matter of discussion. But they definitely, I definitely think if his music were to ever hit, no matter what city they're in, I think would garner like a huge pop. I mean, you even still kind of see it with not all the time, but most of the time you still kind of see it with MJF, right? Like, he's a heel, and they know he's a heel, but when his music hits, there's like a brief like 5 to 10 seconds of cheering, and then they go to booing him because he starts talking and saying shit.
Because
So
he's
they
got
go
to
to booing
keep
him.
him. He's got to keep him.
But like there is still like the initial of like his music hits and they pop, which I think is what would at the very least is what would happen with Punk.
But they always hated MJF. Is my point.
Right.
CM Punk's very different, where it's just like people were like, "Oh my god!" Like there was a guy crying when he showed up.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't find anything. I didn't find anything wrong with what Dax said. I mean, I feel like he was just speaking.
Yeah.
Matter of factly,
I think
and
what
what's
he
been going
wants,
on.
he wants everyone to get along, and I get that.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be fucking stupid if, like in my opinion, you'd be fucking stupid if you were in that AEW company and you didn't want Punk and the Bucks and Omega to get along for the better of the company, because like whether you want to, like, you can't argue like facts, and like Punk brought in a lot of money and brought in a lot of eyeballs. Like that first Chicago pay-per-view that he wrestled on was like their high, I think to date is their highest. I could be wrong, but I think to date is their highest selling pay-per-view. Like he brought eyes and stuff to the product.
Well, I was just saying,
and to think like you can't learn anything from him, like,
yeah,
fuck that too.
Excuse me. The two sides to it that I understand both sides is that right away when he had issues with somebody, excuse me, they went right to, oh, he's doing this shit again, which I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you could be that way. But I don't think if he left, you should write him off and go, well, he's never, ever coming back. I think that was part of the problem where a lot of people were like, oh, fuck him, we don't need him. And I mean, like, the numbers show that you do need him, and there's a possibility you could work with him, and you can
Yeah.
work through it. But I remember a lot of the fans were like, well, fuck him, we don't need him. Don't count him out right away, because if he could come back, that's going to help the company regardless. And I understand that this is the second time for him, for a company.
Yeah.
I understand that completely. But where I would have stopped was write him off right away.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame he had issues with another group in that area, and one of the worst groups you could. Not they're bad, but like they're important in the company. But don't go, I guess that's it, you know?
Yeah. If he doesn't, my opinion is, I think if he doesn't come back, it's like purely it's most likely like a legal thing.
Yeah.
Like
and,
legally, HR is like, don't just let it go. Let it go.
and I think a lot of it's also the fact of the way people treated him after that fact is going to help him think, well, they don't want me back anyway.
Yeah.
So why would I bother?
Yeah. There's somebody also had brought up an interesting question. Like, they were like, say CM Punk does come back. There's obviously a lot of money in a CM Punk Elite feud, a lot of
Yeah.
money in a CM Punk versus
Omega.
Omega match. And they were kind of like, do you think it's, if he comes back, do you think it's even possible that they work together? And right now, my opinion would be no. There is, if he comes back, I think they keep Omega and the Punks and Buck and Punk away from each other completely. They're not in any matches against each other. They're not in any matches together. Like, they, my opinion is, there's a lot of money to be made in that, and I don't think that they would be able to put aside their personal feelings and put aside what happened to be able to do that feud.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me personally.
No, yeah, I get you.
Um,
No, I understand that, though.
so
I understand that concept. I would love to see it, Omega versus Punk, but, you know,
yeah, I don't think it happens.
it's a little bit of a who is too stubborn for the whole situation.
Yeah. So with that Dax Hardwood podcast, I started listening to the second episode. I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, but he was explaining and talking about how the original plan for All Out this year was that they were going to, because remember at one point I was like, oh shit, the Bucks won the tag titles, and I was like, during that ladder match against Jurassic Express, and I was like, oh shit, like, I was like, I bet you All Out is, because I remember saying, I was like, I bet you All Out is FTR and
The Bucks.
and the Bucks. And Hardwood, went on and said that the original plan for All Out this year was FTR versus the Bucks, with all 4 of the tag titles on the line, winner take all. Because at that time FTR had the AAA, ROH, and New Japan tag titles, and then the Bucks would have had the AEW tag titles. And the original plan was they were gonna do a tag match between the two at All Out, and it would be winner takes all. And he was like, and the person who does the podcast with him, like the host, asked him, and he was like, is that just like your thought of what was going to happen, or like, do you feel comfortable in saying like that was the plan and stuff? And he was like, oh no, we had meetings, like that was the plan. I haven't gotten far enough into the podcast to hear like what changed those plans.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened with Swerve and Keith Lee that they
my
broke towards
guess, again, I haven't gotten far enough into the podcast, but my guess is that was the plan before they knew Omega was going to be good to come back for All Out, and then Omega coming back is what changed it. Probably is Omega was going to be good to go, and so they wanted to do the trios titles.
Start the trios titles, yeah.
Right, and so then that's what changed the plan to go off and all that. I will say, I don't think this is also the hard part is I don't think I said it on the podcast. I just said it to you guys because we haven't been together for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But when FTR lost the tag title match to
Broscos.
no, before that one, when they lost the AEW tag title match to the Acclaimed, and it was just on like regular TV, and then it came out, and he's spoken about it in the podcast that they think they're going to take 2023 off, and just do a couple of indies for 2023. FTR.
I feel like you did mention that in the last podcast.
Yeah,
where you were
and
like talking about how they wanted to take a break and maybe do indies or maybe just spend time with their family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's mentioned it in the podcast.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh shit, there's your story. I would have every single tag title match. Like if they were going to take a break and just do indies or whatever, I wouldn't keep. If I was AAA or whatever, like I wouldn't like maybe AAA is considered an indie to them. I don't know, but like I wouldn't keep the AAA tag titles on them. Like if I were them, I would fight to say. We want all of our tag title matches. The next tag title match we want to lose, and then we kind of disappear and make it like we go back to grassroots and we're training and we're scrapping on the indies, and then you come back in 2024 and you're like we're fucking back. We lost a whole bunch, so we had to like go back and refigure out our strategy. Like something wasn't working, and now we're back and we're better. And so far, that's been kind of coming to fruition. They've lost all their tag titles. Basically in succession with their matches. Like it was like tag title matches back to back, and so they've lost. I think all of them. I don't believe. I know they lost all of them, except the AAA. But I'm pretty sure they lost the AAA at the most recent event that happened like a week or two ago. And then the Guns came out, and they were like, R.I.P. FTR.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is such a good fucking fitting way to like write them off TV. Like let them just not be on TV for like months, and then randomly one week they come back and fucking attack the Guns. And I'm like, I was like, you'll get such a huge fucking pop.
Yeah.
And then you have that natural story.
Anytime that song comes on, you get a huge pop.
Yeah. And then you have that natural story progression of, we were hustling and we did great, and then just something. What was off? We didn't know what was off, but we kept losing every match, all of our tag titles. So like what was off? So we had to go back to grassroots, come back. They can fight off the Guns, and then in my opinion, you have them like go through maybe another tag team or two, and then they go for the AEW tag championships, and you have kind of this comeback story. It's just my opinion. TK, give me a call.
So the Rampage. Well, I guess let's talk about the current state right now.
Current state.
So Samoa Joe lost on Wednesday
to Darby
Allin. Now, was Rampage live?
Yeah, I think it was, because then they had Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, and like, did you watch one after the other?
No.
So after
I've seen clips of stuff, but I haven't.
So after Darby Allin won against Maria's husband, I don't know the guy's name, Mike or something.
Mike Kanellis.
Yeah, and he as soon as like he was still like celebrating, and they like literally ended the show, and when they started at Battle of the Belts, Darby Allin was still in the ring. Like they did a graphic and everything, and then they were like, Darby was like, oh, I guess I'll leave now, and like jumped out of the ring and then left, and I'm like,
yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're doing this like right, like I knew they were going to be playing it right after, but I didn't know they like were doing it right after, to the point where like they didn't even get the other guy out of the ring yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was live, because I don't think they were doing like 2 hours of taping after Dynamite. So part of me wondered if the Nick guy is 18 and is now able to wrestle around the United States, and if he's going to pop up soon.
Yeah, who was that?
So he's a wrestler. He's the son of the guy that trained Darby Allin. I think he trained a number of other people. He had a wrestling school. The kid has kind of been the kid's been around it his whole life, and he started wrestling, but he can only wrestle, or he started wrestling when he was 16 for like Defy, but he can only wrestle in certain places because he wasn't 18. And at one of the shows, Darby Allin came out and gave him an AEW contract. And they basically did a thing where it was like, when you're of age, you can, like, you'll be a member of the AEW roster. And he was ringside, so I was like, I wonder if that is like going to be their start introduction
That was
to
Wednesday night, right?
him. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
and I
remember
was
the
like, I
guy
wonder
getting
if I wonder if he's 18, and so then he'll come up and maybe be with Sting and Darby as like a trio.
Yeah.
Because that was my other thing. The show was getting ready to go off the air, and I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, Darby won the championship. Like, what are the odds Nick is about to get in the ring and fucking like drop him?
Yeah, they did something, right? Didn't he do like?
He came in and raised his hand, but before Dynamite went off the air, I was
You were
kind of like,
thinking, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, is he about to come in and drop him and be like, ha 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 ha? But no, I think they made the right call with him being the hometown boy and winning the championship. Honestly, I was like, oh, Samoa Joe's gonna, like, in my head, I was like, oh, Samoa Joe's gonna beat him. And then like a day or two beforehand, I was like, oh, it's in Darby's hometown. I think Darby's winning.
Yeah. And then like
Although it may have also been a way to get the title off of Joe, because they've obviously been talking about ROH is going to have its own weekly program on that you can get streaming through Honor Card or ROH Honor Club or something
Honor Club, I think.
on their website. And so I was wondering if this is like getting the title off of Joe, because Joe is going to go be an ROH guy.
Yeah, well, that's like with Claudio hasn't been like
Hasn't
he was
been on.
tagged. Daniel Bryan tagged with Moxley this time instead of Claudio.
Yeah,
So
I wonder if they're prepping to
I think they're
if
cutting
they're
that.
prepping to.
I think they're
do
cutting
that.
that in half and putting Wheeler and Claudio on Ring of Honor, and then
That would make sense.
'cause then it's just
That would make sense, and I'm fine with it. I think that the AEW roster is a little too big, and I'm excited to have them split, and have an AEW roster and have an ROH roster, and then be able to like watch AEW stars on AEW and watch ROH stars on ROH,
Mhm.
and you'll get so many more eyes on kind of what you're doing. And if you want to, my opinion would be to maybe cut out. My opinion is you don't need dark and dark elevation.
you need a Ring of Honor dark.
Yeah. Like so my opinion is you don't need dark and dark elevation. Cut out one of those shows and film the weekly hour of ROH before Dynamite every week. So then you can still use the talent. The talent is all there. You can use the same like production setup. The production trucks are all there. You have the arena already. Like, it saves a lot of money.
Do you think that will keep people from like coming to watch? Because like, let's be honest, dark we've been to the live shows. When you come to the shows, dark is kind of like a warm up where you're just like,
Right. Well, what you do is you do dark ROH taping, Dynamite, Rampage, or the other option I also like is do Rampage live, and do so Wednesdays you'll get the dark and dark elevation tapings, then Dynamite, and then people can go home at 10 instead of fucking late as shit, instead of like midnight. And then do Fridays. You could do like 8:30 to 10 is ROH taping,
mm-hmm.
and then you could do Rampage live at 10,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe more people will watch Rampage because it's live. I think Rampage is in such a dead time that it's never going to get a high viewership.
So yeah, going back to that, you didn't watch Rampage this week?
No, not yet. I don't even know if I'm going to be honest.
It wasn't bad.
Like I'm kind of, most of the time I don't bother watching it because it's on like a really bad time and nothing of note really happens. Like I can just catch clips and be done with it.
Like the
Like I don't know other than the one CM Punk debuted on, I don't know that I'm ever actively going to be like, oh, it's 10 o'clock on a Friday night. I'm going to turn on Rampage. Like,
Yeah, it's weird if it's 10 o'clock. I would say change it to 8.
it's a bad timing. The only reason, so the weird thing about not doing 8 is then you go against SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And do you get even less viewers because other people were watching SmackDown?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'd rather watch Rampage, but so yeah, they did Sky Blue versus Jade Cargill. That was sorry. That was just a build up for her and Red Velvet.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna be partially annoyed if this whole time was just a build up for Jade Cargill to fight Red Velvet to determine if she's 50-0, and then Red Velvet's the one that dethrones her. I feel like that's so anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like you should have more. Like, don't do the elevation route and just go, oh, Red Velvet's going to be on elevation, and then she's going to have a match tonight against Jade Cargill and somehow win. They're going to have to do more than just do her just stacking her numbers just to fight Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I see.
Because also the fact that the best friends are dealing with now dealing with Kip, Penelope, and also Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny.
Yeah.
And you might need a woman in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. Chris Statlander should be the next TBS champion.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the original plan before she got hurt.
Do you think Jade should get to 50, or do you think she should be stopped before 50?
See, that's tough, right? Because if let me put it this way, or let me say this first. No matter whether she wins or loses, 50-0 should be a big match. It should not be like, oh, she could go 50-0 and she's fighting some fucking nobody, or she's fighting Sky Blue
Fighting
or
one
something.
of the Renegades.
Yeah, like she's fighting nobody. I think 50-0 should be on Dynamite. Should be like a big fucking deal. And should be against an opponent where you could go, this person could legitimately beat her.
I feel like they should.
I feel like she has to get.
So look, this is me. I think
go ahead.
I think they should do. Whoever beats her should beat her to the point where, like in my head, I could think they go to 49. She beats Red Velvet, and then she goes on to do the 50, and she's planning on the 50. She's excited for the 50. Then Chris Statlander does 50 and stops her, and that kind of like makes her lose her shit. And even if she wants to, she's been on there for a while.
Yeah.
Take a break, come back later. I think that would be good for her.
Yeah, I feel like.
Granted, she's not used enough, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like she has to. I feel like she has to lose at 50.
Because she's like Jade is like a side attraction. I feel like they don't use her enough.
Yeah.
If she's a TBS champion, make it seem important. It's a little bit like the TNT champion, but not as. I feel like it's not as much.
Yeah, they're too. Yeah, I mean they're also like too busy doing. Maybe some of it is her wrestling ability. Was there a potential stall out, and they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do because maybe Chris Statlander was going to beat her for the championship back then.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there's part of me that's surprised that Athena wasn't the one that beats her.
Yeah.
Although she's the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, so I could see her leaving
She's
AEW
scary.
TV and going to being an ROH talent, which is
you,
fine.
Have you watched her matches for ROH or like for Dark?
Some of them, yes.
She's fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like I mean, like, granted, she's like, don't worry about it. Like, I'm not hurting anybody, but like, she looks like she's hurting people.
Well, good.
Like,
it's all about looking.
It's scary looking.
I mean,
concerning.
That's the thing. Gotta
It's-
make it look good.
It's almost to the point where people are getting like to the point where like looking at Athena as if she was a man beating the shit out of out of a woman. It's like,
Yeah. So
To
she brought up an interesting thing on I think it was the Chris Jericho podcast. I think.
yeah, I did hear this. Go ahead.
Where she was like, everybody's making a big deal out of it because I'm a woman, but if I was a man, fucking nobody be saying shit.
Yeah,
Like everybody be like, oh
She
yeah,
pulled-
they're fucking awesome.
she pulled the Joker. She said,
Yeah.
a man does it, no one bats an eye, but if I do it, it's a big deal.
Yeah. And and like to be clear, I fucking absolutely agree with her. Like
It's weird
like
though.
she's doing it and it's like a big, and to like some people it's a big deal, but like if fucking like fucking Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Bryan, like they're all
It's-
very like rough like
for
that.
For me, it's not the fact that she's a woman doing it. It's the fact that like I like her as a heel or as a babyface, and the fact that she's like scary to me. I'm like, I'm legitimately feared like to be like afraid like.
Well, you like her like a babyface, but she's not a babyface.
But I've never had that feeling of like it could be her selling or like the way she sells the moves. I've never been that scared of like Nyla Rose or Jade Cargill that way. Athena, like legitimately, just the way she portrays the character is legitimately like scary to me. Like I'm like,
Mm.
oh my god, she might hurt me, like that kind of thing. Where
Okay.
like a Rhea Ripley kind of feeling where I'm like, I feel like she's gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And granted, she hasn't. And it's not the thing of like, it's not the fact that she's a woman. It's the fact that she legitimately looks like she's hurting people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, and just doesn't give a shit. The way she's portraying the character, she does not give a shit.
Yeah.
So that part, I'm like, oh my god, I'm scared.
I got you.
I'm legitimately frightened.
Okay. Should we go to the crazy portion of this shit?
Yeah, I guess let's talk about it.
So no chance. That's what you've got.
So Vince McMahon.
I don't know the rest of the words of the song.
So can you clarify? Because I'm not clear on the details. So he has been brought back as one of the board of directors,
So he's come back as a member of the board.
and is he part
Um,
of the creative team?
He and WWE say no.
So that's a fucking lie.
I don't know.
I feel like you can't. There's no way. There's no way he can't get it. Like he can't get his hands on that and try to finagle it.
Well, that was the thing that a lot of people said. They were like, yeah, Vince is going home, but like Steph and Triple H are in charge. And like if you think that like he's not, like, yeah, he's not making the final decision or calling the shots, but if you think that at some point they don't have conversations with him about what's going on or whatever, then you're fucking crazy. And I absolutely agree with that. Like they are probably having conversations
The problem
behind closed doors about creative.
The problem is that him putting his hands where it doesn't belong got him in this predicament where he shouldn't put them. Sorry, not where they don't belong, but where he shouldn't put them. Got him in this predicament, and I feel like this is not. I mean, great for AEW, I guess, if it's the case. But
Yeah, I've seen rumors that there are a lot of people that are unhappy that he's back. A lot of people are trepidatious that he's back.
ooh, trepidatious. I like that.
Trepidatious.
Mia Yim had a good run, right?
Yeah, I find it very interesting that it seems like the main driving force between him for him being back is that I think their
Selling
their
or something?
their TV contracts I think are up next year. So there's going to be negotiating for new TV contracts, which could mean more money. Could mean more money, could mean less money, could mean that could mean that they change networks, right? Like if NBC Universal is like, oh, we'll give you $1 million per year for Raw, and Fox is like, we'll give you $2 million per year for Raw, then guess what? Raw's going to fucking Fox, and it is not going to be on USA anymore. There's also the possibility of, since the TV rights are up, I think there's also a possibility of the streaming being moved from off of Peacock if another company wants to come in and pay high for the streaming rights. Peacock. So it sounds like, I mean, he said the main driving force, they're claiming the main driving force of him being back is the TV deals. They then immediately hired a company to shop around and see what kind of deals could be made about selling the company.
Selling the company.
Yes,
Like,
like selling the company to somebody else.
why would you do that?
Lots of money.
Who would want to buy that? Why would you want to? Okay.
Why would you want to buy WWE?
Well, no. Why would you want to sell WWE?
Lots of money.
Yeah, but you made it. So he's like trying to just sink
Lots
the
of money.
ship before he gets out. Like,
No, I mean, just because they sell doesn't mean he's sinking the ship. But I mean, it could be him being like,
if he's behind the wheel,
I'm
he's sinking it.
he could be like, I did what I did. I'm done. And I'm gonna get a bitch ton of money for
But it
my
just
efforts. Also,
okay.
I'll say that a lot of people are like, holy shit, selling. Selling would mean that he would lose like controlling stake and all that stuff in that. But just because you sell doesn't mean you don't have anything to do with the company. Like they could sell, and whoever buys it could still be like, yeah, we want Triple H to be the head of creative, and we want so and so to be our CEO. Like just because they sell doesn't mean that anything changes.
Well, I was gonna say
It just
something.
means that somebody
fucking
other than
forgot.
Vince is the head, is kind of
But
the.
in my head, I feel like it's like as if you go, for Triple H, like it's like if Vince had a house and he was leaving the house to Triple H, and instead of selling the house or giving the house to Triple H, he goes, "Yeah, I just lit a fire in the kitchen, and it's gonna all just burn down with me, and I'm leaving the house." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think a better analogy would be instead of him selling the house to Triple H, he is selling the house to Joe Schmo down the street, and Triple H is renting the house from
Not
Joe
Joe
Schmo.
Schmo.
Joe Schmo.
Oh, that guy's the fucking worst.
That's a more accurate depiction of if they sell or what's happening with if they sell. That's a much better
There was a
analogy.
there was a moment where last night we were talking about it. Um, I meant to bring up because every time I think about the Vince McMahon thing, I think about the Charlotte Flair thing, and that pisses me off more. But the fact that we were talking to one of the members of Waffletown Sump, who does not watch wrestling. Me and Bones are more,
Yep.
We're like, oh, Vince is coming back, I guess. And then he goes, well, he should be because he's the owner of the company. And I'm like, but you don't understand, Sump. He's not been doing a good job since then. He goes, well, he created it. I'm like, that doesn't mean he's doing a good job, though. He goes, well, he should still be able to be in control of it. I'm like, but again, what he's doing is not what people want or what people like. So he should not be in charge of the company.
Yeah, I mean, I had said to James that I think the biggest surprise for him being able to come back and it just kind of happened was the fact that like he owes the company, he had to pay out the company like $12 million or whatever because part of the reason that he stepped down and stepped away was because he had misused company money
Yeah.
and expenses to pay for the non-disclosures, which you can't do.
And did James respond with, it's fake, right? Because he does that to me sometimes.
He should have. He should have.
He does that to me when I get really, I get really into it. I remember we were getting fitted for your suits and for our suits for your wedding, and he goes, it's fake, right? I'm like, yeah, but I'm getting back into it, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. No, he was kind of like, yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of how the world works in terms of like, he stepped back, but he's still controlling. He still has controlling share of the company. One thing that I was really disappointed in was the fact that he came back, and I mean, this is probably more about the business side of things because the TV contracts and deals are coming up and whatnot. And last time they got huge fucking TV contracts. The day Vince McMahon came back into the company, the stock price went up 18 or 19%.
Yeah,
I mean, more than likely, it's more about business. Like he came back and they're talking about selling and they're talking about TV rights deals, which
good shit.
is a lot of money, which is probably why the stock price went up. But it is like very disheartening to see like this guy who's a not good guy comes back and the stock price goes
Not
up
good for the company
a
either.
lot.
Just I don't like what he's done. And then also the fact that I don't know. It's gonna be difficult to like. I don't know where that's gonna go from here. Like, do I have the optimism that maybe things will stay the way they were, and things will be good again, or good, or stay good? But like, for example, and I said earlier I was upset by it. The fact that you could have no build up, no setup for it at all, and have Charlotte Flair come back and win the title the same night she comes back, that pissed me off. That was like the Becky Lynch bullshit. Don't do that shit. There's no story behind that. There's no fun in that. You just fucking completely squash a big star that you want to stay big, like Bianca or like Ronda Rousey, and just say, well, fuck it, we're just having them squash them.
That was kind of a weird decision, especially given the fact that it was Ronda Rousey. I think was like the bigger like surprise that they made this decision.
To make things worse, Michael Cole's like, yeah, 14-time champ. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
Do you really need to have her come back and win it right away if she's a 14-time champ now?
she does.
Bullshit.
She does, man. She does.
This is bullshit.
She does, man.
Anyway.
I think that's just about everything.
Yeah, I mean, the
I can't think of anything
Vince
else.
thing is really kind of just chaps my ass.
The only other thing I can think of is I think they're starting to plant the seeds for Sammy to get booted out of the bloodline.
Oh, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I thought of Sammy Guevara. Right
Oh,
away.
yeah, no, I think they are planting the seeds for Sammy getting kicked out of the bloodline. I feel like he's not winning the Rumble. I feel like somebody else is winning the Rumble and fighting Roman at WrestleMania, and I feel like Sammy will challenge him at Elimination Chamber. It's in Montreal, or it's in Toronto. It's in Canada.
It's in Canada.
But yeah,
Speaking of bloodline, let's talk about hairline and the fact that Cena's was very non-existent in the back of his head.
oh,
Did you
I
see
wasn't
this?
sure where
This
you were
stuff?
going with
Yeah, I
this.
was trying. I was trying real hard to bring it around.
I was like, where the fuck is he going with this? I
Um,
was like, do we have a sponsor?
No. Keeps. No. Hymns or whatever the fuck the other ones are. Rogaine.
Skull shaver.
Skull shaver. All the different ones. When you want to shave your head. No, this isn't a sponsor read. No, just Cena in general. Like, granted, whatever. I have no room to talk. But the fact that, like, just shave it all off, dude. Just shave it all off.
Yeah.
Because it was bad.
Well, I mean,
It was yikes bad.
so I would say so I agree with you in the terms of like at that point you just shave it all off, but there's also part of me that's like but
Go ahead. I know exactly what you're going to go say.
but there's also part of me that's like, well, maybe he has his hair that way for a movie. Like a role he's doing.
I wasn't saying that. I was going to say, couldn't you pay money to have that fixed?
Oh, yeah, he could have.
You're Peacemaker now.
Yeah, you're a peacemaker. I still haven't watched that.
It is so good.
I heard it's good.
It
it's
makes
on
me
my to watch
forget
list.
it's Cena because I'm like, oh, I don't like this guy. He always won all the time, and I'm like, he is really good in it to the point where I'm like, oh, I forget it's that guy I didn't like back when I was younger.
Yeah, I'm in this predicament where I'm married now and I live with my spouse, and so if there's stuff that
Oh my god, congratulations!
thank you, that she also wants to watch, then like we have to like find a time to sit down and watch together. And then there are so many things we want to watch together that like sometimes certain things take forever till we actually watch it. Peacemaker is one of them.
Peacemaker's good.
Because let me tell
Really
you, the
good.
Marvel stuff, we're watching that every week it comes out. I'm not waiting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you don't want to wait for that shit.
Yeah, no.
Motherfucker's always trying to skate uphill. Ice skate uphill. Sorry, I fucked
Yeah.
up the line. You know where that's from?
No.
It's not an MCU movie, but it is a Marvel movie. I'll give you a
X-Men?
hint. It's
It
they
has
say
to be X-Men.
motherfuckers in it, so
Motherfuckers. Well, then it would have to be Deadpool.
no. So you're thinking before the merger. After he kills Steven Dorff, I don't know what the character's name is.
Blade?
Blade says, "Motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill." Don't know what it means, but it's one of the greatest lines I've ever heard.
I should go back and
It's
watch.
right as he kicks the thing he's supposed to inject him with into his head. He goes, right after, I think.
I should go back and rewatch that movie. It's a good movie.
Always trying to skate uphill. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
What does that even mean?
Who's trying to ice skate uphill? And just why? It doesn't make any
I'm
sense.
failing at it.
Such a weird thing to say. Anyway.
Anywho.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
I think that's everything.
What are we excited for?
I'm excited for the ladder match.
Okay. We'll do wrestling and then we'll do our normal stuff because I want to talk about our normal stuff.
I'm excited for
The ladder match, you said?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm excited for Hangman and Moxley.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like their feud.
Until you said about Will Ospreay and Omega at Forbidden Door, I wasn't excited for that until I was like, well, if they do that, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, like, I don't know. I guess in my head I was like, Omega won. Like I don't know. I was like, there's got to be like a fucking rematch.
Can I say something real quick? And I don't want to get people mad, but I want to say something.
Okay.
I think Kenny Omega, now that when I started watching wrestling, he was out.
Here's art.
He was out for I think right as I started, he was out, or he became out because Hangman won. I think the title maybe a couple months in. I was watching. He is such a dork.
Oh yeah.
The way he talks, I'm like, you are a dork. You are a big nerd.
Did you ever see I mean, yeah, definitely. Well, I guess since he was injured, you never saw they did the second Looney Tunes movie was coming out with LeBron James.
No, I didn't.
And so they had on
That'd be right before I started watching.
On Dynamite, they had like a 10-man tag match or something, and there was I guess the Looney Tunes movie had bought like a whole big like sponsor block and all this stuff, and I forget who they were fighting, but they came out and they all had Toon Squad jerseys on. For Halloween, they had a 8-man tag match, and they were the Ghostbusters.
I saw that one.
It was Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Hangman was the Stay Puft
It's the
Marshmallow
fucking
Man.
best reveal
That
ever.
was good.
Best reveal ever.
That was good. But similarly, when he does his promos, I'm like, you just sound like especially when when he did his promo for Will Ospreay, he was saying what was the term that it makes me cringe? Mother father to make up for motherfucker, and I'm like, why aren't you? Why just say something else? Mother father sounds so weird. Please stop it. But he's just a big nerd. He's not. I don't consider him he's a great wrestler. I don't consider him a good person on the mic. I don't. It's not.
Did you catch on Dynamite that the censor missed Moxley?
Yeah.
He was like, motherfucker, can we get this back on track or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, he missed it.
Yeah.
And all I could think was if you're the guy standing there who's supposed to be hitting the button or whatever, how do you not know that's coming? It's Moxley and he's getting frustrated with the mic thing. I'm like, how do you not know he's about to curse?
There's a great sketch, and I hope they do it in Botchamania. I doubt they will. But in the IT crowd, there's a great scene, and I'm gonna just show you it after this because.
Well, describe it to me. I've seen the IT crowd.
Okay, the one with the beeping.
Yeah.
Where she lands the thing on his foot.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I want them to do with that, because it's just and then he misses the one button. He goes, and then he's just with his hand near the button. Oh my god!
Did you see? I sent you guys from the latest Botchamania. It has the Keith Lee intro.
Yeah.
It's who am I? I am, and then it goes to big motherfucker.
I thought he said the N-word at first because I didn't hear what he originally said, and then when they played it uncensored, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as what I thought he said. I was like,
all I know is Keith Lee was like, ugh.
Yeah, he was like, oh, yikes.
And he legit was like, cut his mic.
Yeah. Yeah. Indubitably. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for. Actually, I don't think. Actually, you know what? There was a match I'm excited for. Willow and Soho versus the JAS ladies. I think in a no holds barred or tag team match or something.
Okay.
Tag team. I mean, last time they were in a tag team No Rules was the New Year's one, and that was fucking great.
Yeah.
But that one, Orange Cassidy's doing fine right now. I don't know what they were trying to do with him and Trent, but they were like kind of like, I guess, brushed it off, and they're like, oh, they're okay now, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like they came out to help him out, but then like they didn't really kind of like resolve the situation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god!
Don't know.
You didn't see Battle of the Belts?
No.
You didn't see Aubrey Edwards do the scissor?
No.
So at the end, since there was no holds barred,
Mm-hmm.
the ref got knocked out. So then Sanjay Dutt put on the referee shirt and was going to, but then Aubrey came running down, pulled his leg out from under as he's doing the 2 count,
Mm-hmm.
pulled him out, told him, she's like, no. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I got the shirt on. And she's like, no. And then he got like pushed out of the way or whatever and got frustrated, or he got back in the ring and they threw him out again. And then as they're doing that, she counted the 3, and then they did the thing, and I'm like, she's not gonna do it, because she did like the best friends where like Billy Gunn was across from her and the 2 were on the other sides, and I'm like, why is she in the other far corner with them? She should be raising their hands, and I'm like, is she gonna do it too? And then they just did a 4-man scissor, and I was like, oh my god, they did it! But yeah, it was great, and that's why I think I texted the group and I was like, was that our first ever female scissor, acclaimed scissor? It was great. But I like the fact that they're introducing her in there, especially since like Billy Gunn and her always have like a back and forth that they do.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I
that's
saw.
clever.
I did see that at a house show, the WWE woman referee stunnered Sami Zayn.
What?
I think she like slow count. She counted, and it was like, I guess, him and Kevin Owens. I don't know if it was a tag match or something. Probably just them 2 against each other.
I mean, house shows you can do whatever you want.
And I guess like she counted, like he thought it should have been 3 or something, and he like shoves her, and then she's like gets like pissed off, and they're arguing, and then she stunners him, and he gets up and like turns around, and then Owens stunners him, and then and then she pins, and
There
then he
was-
pins her.
There was one I
Pins him.
watched with Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in a steel cage, and Rhea Ripley starts beating the shit out of Seth Rollins because they're all knocked out,
Mhm.
like Damian and then Finn Balor, and then she's the only one left, and she's beating the shit, like she's in like the ground and pound position, just beating the shit out of him. And then Becky Lynch came out, and everyone's freaking out. She comes and just beats the shit out of her with a kendo stick, and then Seth Rollins wins the match. And it's like
Yeah.
a steel cage. She was like, who the fuck cares what the rules are? But it was just like, oh, okay, they just do whatever.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck.
Yep.
So yeah, that was fun. It's a fun time. Did you have a fun time? What do you got going on? What do you got coming up?
I don't know.
You were teasing your book last time we were on.
Oh, I'm still working on it.
Okay. I got my series coming out tonight. If you're listening to this, it's probably yesterday. But my series comes out, and I'm really excited for it.
Ooh, I'm excited to watch it.
It seems like today's not gonna, like, tonight's not gonna be a big deal, but it's the fact that it's going to lead into more and more episodes that if you watch the episodes, then they're actually connecting a story. So that's
Okay.
why I was like, I want to do this kind of like the only way and the easiest way I know how without having to rely on other people to do a story, which is just doing it through VR chat and being able to kind of tell a story through, whatever but I'm excited for it either way.
Cool.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm in the editing process
Oh yeah.
for the book. It's probably going to be more of a late spring, early summer release.
Oh yeah.
Most likely. We're still a couple months
Hey.
out.
Whenever it is, either way, a release is always nice.
Yeah, baby.
I'm being sexual with it. Anyway. All right, that was it. I got my series on YouTube. If you're listening to this right now, you probably
It's on the
watched-
same channel.
Yeah, it's on the same channel. Just go and watch that. It's probably like in the recommended on the right there if you're listening to it right now. Listen to us right now. My trading card video will come out eventually. I don't know when. Shouldn't be that hard to edit though.
I'm interested in this trading card video.
Well, I mean, you've seen what I got, but
Yeah, it's true.
And I think I stated it on here too, but
I want to see your reaction when you open up.
yeah, I did a lot of funny jokes. Like
Yeah.
when I got Private Party, I was like, "Oh my god, is that Private Party?" But yeah, god damn it, I'm gonna fuck around and break this mic. All right, so thank you for listening. We will see you guys next time. It's a new year, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. It's a new day. See what I did there?
I do see what you did
New
there.
day.
All right.
And what should they do?
They should do the needful.
Hell yeah. So like on the side, he had all these different artworks of wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And the coolest story he had was like that day. He's like, I was doing stuff and I was like really busy. And then he's like, some woman came over and starts taking pictures of my